today's video, we will be looking at the meaning of informal letter, the features, and how to go about the writing. Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time watching this channel, this is your online English tutor at Banky's Corner. This series has been made for candidates who are about to sit for WAEC and NECO examination. In my last video, I talked about the content basis of letter writing, which is a major topic usually asked in this examination. A candidate is expected to write either formal or informal letter. So, in today's video, we'll be looking at what informal letter is all about, its meaning, its structure, and how to go about its writing. So what are informal letters, or what type of letter is an informal letter? An informal letter is referred to as a personal letter. Not just personal, it's a type of letter that is conversational in style. It is also a letter written to people that we know, that we have intimate relationship with. Of course, when we talked about people we have relationship with, we talked about family, friends, and sometimes associates could be very close to you. So, next time you're about to write an informal letter, always remember that it is conversational in style. This is a letter that we write to people that we know, people we share common values, common opinions with. Not just an acquaintance. It is a letter that goes beyond being an acquaintance with someone. It's conversational. You can share your opinions and feelings with the recipient, and the person doesn't feel offended, all because you have something in common, which shows that you are free to write your opinions and your ideas. Just like any other type of letter, or just like the essay that we write, which we will still get into, an informal letter usually follows the three-part structure of any form of writing, be it letter writing or essay writing. An informal letter follows the three-part structure, just like in essay writing. And what are those three-part structure? We talked about the introduction, the body, and the conclusion. Any letter you write or any essay must have the introductory part, the body part, and the conclusive part. It gives structure to your write-ups. It gives structure to your writing. So let's look at the introductory parts of an informal letter. The first thing we'll be looking at here is the address. The address is part of the introductory part of an informal letter. A single address, remember, just a single address. A single address is required in writing an informal letter. At what position? At the right hand corner. At your right hand corner, topmost corner of your paper given to you. Remember, it is written at the topmost corner of your paper given to you. What other things do we have under the introductory part of an informal letter? Like I said, we have a single address, which is the writer's address. You that is writing. Your address must be well written out. We are still going to have a graphic picture of that. The address must be well written out by you. Also, aside the address, the salutation part also includes in the introductory parts of an informal letter, which we all know begins with dear. A capital D, then the rest in the lowercase letter. It begins with dear and usually is complemented with the name of the person you are writing to. Remember, the receiver of your letter is also called the recipient. of your letter. So usually we have the address, which forms part of the introduction. We have the salutation. The next second structure is the body. This is where you discuss the subject matter of the letter. How do you get the subject of the letter? It's from the questions given to you. From the questions, you know what to write about. From the questions, you know the content base of this type of letter, be it narrative, descriptive, or explanatory. So at the body level, you discuss everything that the questions ask you to discuss. You don't leave anything untouched. You don't leave any questions untouched. You make sure that you write clearly. Clarity and coherence is required here. Both clarity and coherence, these two are important in letter writing. We talk of clarity of purpose of the subject and even your expressions. These are very, very important. Also, part of the body, just like I said, you have to be coherent and you have to clearly present your topic as informal letter. Let's take, for example, you are asked to write a letter to your friend, inviting her to your forthcoming inter-house sports coming up on the 4th of May. You are asked to write about inviting your friend to a forthcoming inter-house sport in your school. Remember, this your friend is not present with you. You don't attend the same school. He or she must come from a far place or from nearby to attend to your needs, which you are invited him or her for. You have to write to motivate that your friend to come down and watch your performances or the games you are going to participate in. So this body is very important. The full gist of the letter is required to be presented coherently and clearly. There must be clarity of purpose. The last part, which is the third part structure of a letter writing, informal, is the conclusion. Of course, anytime you write a letter, there must be a conclusion. The concluding part of a letter determines a lot. It says a lot about the content of the letter. So what do we do? What are the things involved in the conclusion? You can decide to ask about the well-being of the recipient. Remember, you've had your fourth paragraph, just like a 5-part paragraph that we have in essay, at least a minimum of 5 paragraphs, clearly presented. Each paragraph contains an idea. So what do you do in an informal letter structure? The concluding part, you can ask about the well-being of the recipient. Remember, you've discussed what you've got to discuss in the letter. You can share jokes with the recipient on matters of interest. You can ask about the correlation if you are asked to write to a correlation. So all these things forms part of your concluding part of your informal letter. Also, part of the concluding part is what we call complementary clause or subscript. The complementary clause or subscript. Here we have different types we use in an informal letter. In some cases, we have yours ever, capital Y, and just like this, yours ever. You can have yours sincerely. After the subscript, the candidate is expected to write only his or her first name. Let's say, for instance, we have written yours ever. here, yours ever, yours sincerely, your loving daughter, your loving son, then the candidate is expected to write his or her first name, depending on the name the recipient knows you with. For example, if you are known as Lois, then after writing the subscript, just write Lois. Then the comma here, the punctuation letter, the punctuation here, and Lois with a full stop, depending on the name you are known with the recipient. That is what you are going to write. You've written yours ever, then your first name only will be appended in the space below after yours ever. You might have a very deep relationship. You might have not too deep relationship. So through the relationship or through the letter that you've written, you will definitely know which of the complementary or the subscripts that suits that particular letter. If you have any questions, please do well to make your comments below in the comment section. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel for many information to be given to you. Until I see you next time in this series of this video, bye and keep learning.